Hey guys, welcome back to Out of the Park Baseball 22 with the Detroit Tigers. It is September 1st. I simmed ahead a month since we were last together. It is time for roster expansion. We are 86 and 47, 17 games up in the AL Central. Best record by far in the American League. Second best record in baseball behind only the Dodgers. And we are playing well. So we're going to do a quick overview of stats like we normally do. I don't want to run through the stats and then sim ahead a month and then run through all the stats again. So you can see injuries. We've talked about this. Injuries have been a problem. Flaherty, Mize, Lee, and Meyer are all out. We'll get Marcelo Meyer back by the playoffs, but he's the only one who will be back. Lee, Mize, Flaherty are done for the year. We get Junior Fernandez back in 3 days as well, which is nice. Offensively, Lou has had just an unbelievable second season. When we signed him, his contact was in the 30s, so I figured we'd get a high power, high on base, low average kind of guy. That hasn't been the case. He's hitting 320 this season. OPS of over 1,000, already put up 5.5 WAR in really just about half a season because he missed like 6 weeks. Christian Arroyo having another nice season for us. Down a little bit from last year, but I wasn't expecting almost 30 home runs and 90 RBIs out of him. Torkelson's already over 100 RBIs for the year. We brought in Paul DeJong at the trade deadline. He's been kind of thrust into everyday action because of the injury to Meyer. Hitting the ball pretty well, 757 OPS. Fielding has been slightly below average so far. Bryce Ball's average is up a bit. Mike Yastrzemski is hitting for some, he's doing better than he did last year in his time with us. Parker Meadows having a really nice season. Really, Kohei Arihara has been a godsend since we picked him up on the 14th from Milwaukee. 7-1 with a 2.87 ERA, 9 starts, 59 2/3 innings, 1.19 WHIP, 1.4 WAR, ERA plus of 170. He's been phenomenal filling in for Mize and Flaherty. So it's something that we've absolutely needed with some of our other pitchers having down seasons. James Corinczak has struck out 20 and walked only 4 in 9 2/3 innings. So we've moved him into a setup role, took him out of that. We had him in a specialist role, so we pulled him out of that. So it is time for roster expansion. I'm only going to call up one player because we are going to call up Junior Fernandez once he's back. So I think it's going to be Daz Cameron. Call up that extra backup outfielder, and then when Fernandez comes back, we'll stick him in the bullpen. So let's go ahead and sim ahead a week. So I think what I'll do is I will sim ahead a week. We'll kind of see where we stand, and then I'll just kind of finish off the rest of the season. So Junior Fernandez is going to be our closer. Ken Giles is still in there as the stopper. We've won 2 in a row. A lot of scoring in these 2 games. Not much pitching to speak of. Tariq Skubal got lit up again. His ERA is up to almost 5 now. DeJong and Yastrzemski both homer. And then a 13-12 win. Who got the start in this one? Sanders got lit up. Hess had a bad game. Parker Meadows with 2 home runs. Ali Sanchez homered. Lou went 4 for 7. Meadows scored 5 runs. So offense is performing quite well right now. Our pitching staff, we still have the best bullpen ERA in baseball in the American League and the 5th best starters ERA, even with the struggles that we've had so far. So let's continue on through this week. As we're 88 and 47, 41 games over 500. So we lose to Tampa. Really slow with all the different leagues, but that's fine. So we lose 2 in a row to Tampa. 6-2 and 8-6. So let's just get one more week ahead here. And James Corinczak. There we go. We win 4-1. Manning picks up the win. Fernandez the save. Hill goes 2 2/3 shutout. Torkelson, 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Cool. All right, so it is September 8th. I'm going to go ahead now, and I'm just going to sim ahead to the end of the regular season. Or I guess I'll sim ahead just to October 1st, and then we'll just sim those last 4 or 5 games. And then we'll see how the postseason goes. So I will be back in just a sec. All right, we're back on October 1st. We are 157. You can see we're currently on a 5-game winning streak. I just like to go back and take a look at some of the box scores when we have long winning streaks. So Lou 2 hits and an RBI. Luzardo went 5 2/3. Ken Giles picks up the win. And we had an 8-7 win. We scored a run in the bottom of the 9th. A couple of RBIs by Welker and Arroyo. Sanders went the first 6. Fernandez blew the save but got the win. And we win easily 14-3. 4 RBIs, 3 hits for Ball. He homered. Torkelson hit his 36th. Arroyo hit his 21st. Anything else interesting? Manning picks up his 12th win of the year, and then we win the final game of the series 8-2. We were up 8-0 after 3 innings. DeJong homers. He's hitting 285 with us. 9 home runs, 37 RBIs. He's been really, really good since we picked him up. That was a valuable addition. Yastrzemski 271, 14 and 43. He's done really nice since we traded for him this year. Arihara picks up the win. He's 9-3 on the year with us. And then yesterday we win easily 11-2. Arroyo up to 105 RBIs out of the number 2 hole. 3 hits, 4 RBIs, 22 and 105 for Christian Arroyo. Torkelson at 36 and 118. Skubal has pitched much better as of late. You look at his last 5 starts: 3 runs in 5 2/3, no runs in 5 1/3, 3 and 7, 2 and 6, 2 and 5. So he's dropped his ERA from 5 down to about 4.5. He's now 14 and 8 on the year. We've obviously clinched the AL Central. Player development. Anything interesting? Sanders, his rookie campaign, more than a strikeout an inning. That ERA is a bit high, but 133 strikeouts in 117 innings, I'll take. Marcelo Meyer is back from injury, so he'll be back for the last 3 or 4 games of the regular season. Cam Collier had an okay season in high A ball, 237, 303, 409. So he'll probably get called up to AA next year as a 22-year-old. Defensively, he's going to be a wizard. Just need that bat to come around a little bit. Caranto had a good season in A ball, frankly. 353 on base percentage, I'll take it. Zarate ended up with a 6.25 in rookie ball. It's fine. He'll be fine. Moreno's one of our international signings. Wasn't very good. So AL's top batter, Eloy Jimenez. NL is Oscar Colas. September's best pitcher, Lucas Giolito. National League, Sixto Sanchez. AL Rookie of the Month, Jordan Vera, and Mason Wynn in the National League. So we are 157. There are 5 games left, so let's go ahead and finish off this regular season. Shane Bieber, 7-20 on the year. So we win again, 9-4. 3 RBIs for DeJong. Meyer, 2 hits and 2 RBIs in his first game back. That's nice to see. Bullpen again getting it done. Giles, Little, and Fernandez. Can we give Bieber his 21st loss of the year? We win 3-2. So does Bieber get the loss? He does not. He only pitches 2 innings. Got hurt. Sanders went 7. Arroyo with another home run. Parker Meadows, 3 hits. Marcelo Meyer, 2 more hits. And we finish off with a 3-game set against the Indians. We lose 5-4-12. We win 5-4, and the final game of the regular season is a 7-6 loss. We win 103 games on the season, which is 1 game better than last year. And that was after, what were we, 24-3 or something like that last season? And we finished up with a better record this year. So 103-59. Let's take a look at our team stats, and then we'll look at, let's look at the standings first. Team standings. AL East, Tampa Bay Rays win with a 99-63 mark. They come up 9 games clear of the Red Sox, who were 21-3 at one point on the season. 21-3 in April. This is unbelievable. They were 21-3 in April and 18-9 in June. So between April and June, they went 39-12 and somehow missed the postseason. Wow. Oh no, I guess they made it as a playoff team. Okay. Blue Jays, Yankees, Orioles. We win the Central by 17. And out west, the Mariners, 97-65 over the 79-83 Astros, who have the AL Triple Crown winner in Kyle Tucker. 333, 46 home runs, 129 RBIs. So Kyle Tucker wins the Triple Crown. So he will likely be the MVP, even though Lou was right there with him. In the National League, the Phillies by 3 games over the Marlins, who make the playoffs. The Cardinals, 97-65, win by 13 games over the Cubs, who make the postseason with an 84-78 mark. And then the Dodgers, 106-56, win the West by 25 games over the Colorado Rockies. Cody Bellinger, 57 home runs and 166 runs knocked in. Look at that 3-year window for Cody Bellinger. 163 home runs over a 3-year period. It's pretty damn good if you ask me. Taisuke Yamaoka with 18 wins for St. Louis. Dustin May, Sixto Sanchez. And in the American League, Emerson Hancock, Lance McCullers, Eric Miller. Shane Bieber, even though he went 7-20, led the American League in strikeouts with 243. So let's take a look at our team stats. Let's start with pitching. That's batting stats. Pitching stats. So Ken Giles led the way as our stopper with a 4.1 WAR as a reliever. 68 games, 89 innings pitched. He struck out 129. He was amazing this year. Jesus Luzardo, his 1 year as a Detroit Tiger, 10-7 with a 4.66 ERA, but a 3.75 FIP, good for almost 4 WAR. He won't be back, unfortunately, simply because we can't afford him. We'll probably offer him the ARB. We'll offer him the ARB number and see if he takes that. And if we bring him back for 1 year at 19, that's going to hamstring us a little bit, but, it's fine. Kohei Arihara ended up 16-9 on the season. For us, he was 10-3 with a 3.33 ERA. He really solidified that bullpen or that rotation second half of the season after we lost Mize and Flaherty. Matt Manning stayed healthy, which was nice. Only pitched 157 innings in 30 starts, but stayed basically healthy. Good for 3 WAR, more than a strikeout an inning. Tariq Skubal bounced back after a rough start to the season. 2.1 WAR, team leading 14 wins, 212 strikeouts. Will Sanders, his rookie campaign as a sort of a swing man, 9-4 with a 4.94 ERA. Ian Hamilton, who was a waiver wire. Did we trade for him? Yeah, we traded for him. He was really, really good for us this year. 50 strikeouts and 7 walks in 37 innings after coming over from the Angels. Brendan Little had a nice season as well. 123 strikeouts in 98 innings. Zach Hess struck out a ton of batters as well. 106 and 72. Cleonel Perez wasn't quite as good this year as he was. I guess he was probably as good this year as he was last year, but he was better in 2023. James Corinczak, after coming over at the trade deadline, only threw 14 innings, but gave up just 6 hits and struck out 31. Steven Wilson was another trade that we brought in. He was pretty good. 20 strikeouts against only 4 walks in 18 innings. And then Junior Fernandez was a negative WAR, even though he put up a 2.82 ERA, struck out 41 and 38. I don't really understand that, but that's fine. With Giles and Corinczak, we're in good shape. Lineups, Lou was just lights out. He missed about 40 games, but still put up over 1,000 OPS, 425 on base percentage, 6.5 WAR. Parker Meadows just had a great second full season for us, 353 on base percentage, just elite level defense. I expect that he'll win the Gold Glove in center field. He was fantastic. Christian Arroyo, 24 home runs and 110 runs knocked in, and we're paying him like $5 million a year. He has been phenomenal for us as our second baseman. Ali Sanchez, A lot better with the bat than I anticipated. Hit over 300. Good for 3 WAR. Paul DeJong, after coming over, hit 288, 372, 497 in 52 games. Did a great job as that left-handed, or as that DH against left-handers. Spencer Torkelson, 2.6 WAR, but 37 and 120. You'll take that. Marcelo Meyer had a really nice second full season, set career highs in just about everything, even though he played 35 fewer games. Mike Yastrzemski was pretty good this year. Showed some power after being traded midway through the season for a second straight year to us. 14 home runs in 71 games. Bryce Ball bounced back after a rough season, hit 26 home runs, drove in 83, walked 60 times, 815 OPS. I'll take it. Colton Walker was good in part-time play and also pitching in for Lou when he got hurt. Cartaya was fine as the backup catcher. Brigman was fine as the backup infielder. And Ciani, frankly, was fine as the backup outfielder. He hit a little bit, not much, but stole some bases, played some good defense. So we are in good shape as we go to the postseason. So let's take a look, I guess, quickly at our prospects. Zarate, we talked about. Sanders didn't play. He was in the international complex. Elijah Green finished the season in AA, 288, 338, 438. We'll call him up to AAA next season. Power has come down a little bit. Contact has gone up a little bit. But looks like he's going to be a high contact, high power, kind of free swinger type who plays elite defense and can probably steal 30 to 40 bases. So looking forward to getting him. Willie Moreno, we talked a little bit about. He might be trade bait as that contact is going to be hard to overcome. Jordan Castro, he's in the international complex. We're going to let him develop. We talked about Collier. Armelini could also be trade bait. We don't need 7 center fielders. Sanders, we talked about. Jeff Foster, I think, is hurt. Yeah, he's out for another 3 to 4 months, but he looks to be a pretty solid arm. Was our first-round pick last season. He'll continue to pitch in AA next year. Braylon Bishop will probably get called up to AAA next season. We'll get him time in center and right, and he'll be that backup outfielder probably within a couple seasons. Chance Mako, third-round pick a few years back, struggled in A-ball, so we'll probably leave him there to start next season. Kai Caranto, we talked about. He hit better than I anticipated. Fields his position well, so we'll probably move him up next season, and that's about it. So that's where we stand in terms of stats. So let's go ahead to the postseason. All right, sorry about that. Let's continue forward. Let's just go up to the next playoff round. So we're taking on the Indians or the Red Sox. So it looks like we're taking on the Cleveland Indians, who finished 86 and 76, 17 games behind us. Let's take a look at their roster. They're led by Bo Naylor and Nolan Jones, a couple of developed prospects. Andre Jimenez at the top of their order. Trevor Story batting ninth, and their pitching staff is below average. So, yeah, I mean, they had a decent... I mean, their bullpen ERA was middle of the road. Their starters were below average. Offensively, they were 7th, so right smack dab in the middle. So, in theory, this should be a pretty easy... They have Sean Gilliams, who's the number 3 prospect in baseball. Wow, he looks really good. In theory, this should be a pretty easy series, but I don't want to count my chickens, as it were. So we are going to move Will Sanders into the bullpen. We're going to go with a 4-man rotation. Junior Fernandez is going to come in 8th or later. Ken Giles is going to come in 7th or later. Corinczak is going to come in 6th or later. We're going to lean on these top 4 guys in our bullpen to help us get through the postseason. We're going to go right to Ari Hara, who's been lights out. And hopefully we can win I guess this is our second playoff series. We've won one before, right? So it's going to be Kohei Arihara against Aaron Savale in Game 1. Of course, the Indians win convincingly 8-2 as Savali goes 6 1/3. Arihara gets knocked out after 3. Rosario 2 hits, 3 RBIs. Arroyo homers. So we're down 1-0. Tariq Skubal against Sean Gilliams, and the series is tied at 1 as we win 3-2. Christian Arroyo homers for a second straight game. Torkelson with a solo home run. Skubal goes 7 1/3, striking out 9. Ken Giles pitches the last inning and 2/3. We tie the series at 1. We go to Cleveland for Game 3. Jesus Luzardo against Nick Wells, potentially. Against Tyson Heaton. Let's see what happens here. We win 2-1, and we shut them out. We win 5-0. Ali Sanchez, 2 RBIs. Meadows and Arroyo. Arroyo with home runs in 3 straight games. Luzardo went the first 5 1/3. Hamilton, Giles, Fernandez came in, shut the door, struck out 7 in 3 2/3 innings. So we are on the verge of advancing to the American League Championship Series. Let's move on to Game 4. Matt Manning against Nick Wells. I need this game. I don't want it to go to a Game 5, and it's going to go to a Game 5. So Arroyo homers again. We lose 5-2. We score 2 in the first. They score 5 in the fifth, and that's it. So Arroyo is hitting .438 with 4 home runs and 7 RBIs, and the Indians are going to take us to a Game 5. Savali against Arihara. Do we want to go with Arihara? All right, he's rested. Yeah, he only threw 45 pitches. So let's go to Game 5 and at home. Game 5, Savali against Arihara, and we win. Thank heavens. So we win 7-4. Christian Arroyo wins the MVP of the series. No surprise there. So he goes 10 for 20 with 4 home runs and 7 runs knocked in. It was 1-0 until the 5th when we blew it open. We scored 5 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th to take a 7-1 lead. And the bullpen, Perez and Fernandez, would make it hold up. Yastrzemski homered. Cool. So we go to the American League Championship Series here to take on the Tampa Bay Rays. Let's look at the American League East champion Tampa Bay Rays. 99-63 on the year. Third in runs scored, first in runs against. They are going to be a tough out. Lots of home runs, or evenly spread out home runs, I should say. Wander Franco's a monster, 333, 27 home runs, 115 RBIs. Brandon Lau hit 33 home runs. Rosarena, 23. Josh Lowe hit 24. Manny Margot hit 22 home runs. Victor Munoz, 24-year-old, is going to be their ace. Wow. I wish we had a pitcher like that. Drew Strotman, Shane McClanahan, and Kodai Senga are their 4 starters. A lot of volatility in their bullpen as they've had 3 different guys with at least 11 saves. This is going to be a tough series. It's going to be a tough out. They're leading. Eric Miller was 15-1 in 27 appearances this year. Wow. All right, well, let's get to it. It'll be Victor Munoz against Tariq Skubal in Game 1. Goes to Tampa. We get shut out 5-0. Wander Franco homers, drives in 4. Skubal gave up 4 in 5 2/3. Munoz went 5 shutout innings. Not the start we were looking for. We need Jesus Luzardo to step up here in Game 2, and he does not. I guess he pitched okay. We just lost 2-1 in 10 innings. Franco hits another home run. Willie Adames hits homers. Our only run of the game driven in by Marcelo Meyer. Luzardo gave up 1 run in 6. So are we going to come up short again? We now need to win 4 of the next 5 games against a 99-win Tampa Bay Rays team. So Matt Manning against Shane McClanahan here in Game 3. We're down 3-0. Again, they got on us early. 5 runs in the second. Murphy homered, Padlo with 2 RBIs. We had another home run from Arroyo. Manning didn't make it out of the second. All right. Well, now we got to win 4 in a row. It just is what it is. Oh, good. Jung-Hoo Lee's eligible to come off the DL. He can't play yet, but... all right, so it starts with Arihara against Senga. We got to win 4 in a row. And we get swept. Okay. Wander Franco is the MVP of the series. 353, 2 homers, 5 RBIs. We didn't hit, and we didn't pitch. So that's not going to get it done. We were outscored 17-6 in the 4-game series. We just did not hit the ball. All right, well, that sucks, but it's more development, so let's sim ahead to the end of the playoffs. And, yeah, I think we'll jump in and do some off-season. Good, Casey Mize is eligible to come off the DL now, too. Too little, too late, fellas. So it looks like it might be a Tampa and Philadelphia in the World Series. So we need an ace is what we need. Flaherty can't stay healthy. Mize could be that guy. But, yeah, I think and we aren't going to have any money this offseason to really make any improvements. So it could be another creative offseason for us if we really want to try to improve things. Or we just have to stay healthy. If Mize and Flaherty stayed healthy, maybe we got a shot. But, it didn't happen. So Tampa is steamrolling through the postseason here. They beat the Mariners 3-1. They swept us. They swept Philadelphia. And the Tampa Bay Rays are the World Series champions as they defeat the Philadelphia Phillies in 4 games. So we got a fantastic score. We're a genius, which is great, but that doesn't help. So let's look at our emails and see what we have to do right off the bat. So Ken Giles' option is, yeah, we are going to execute that option. Season goals, we were happy. We upgraded at shortstop. Didn't sign Byron Buxton. He's undecided with our performance, really. Achieve a winning record, improve our defensive efficiency, bring more drafted players, and reach the World Series in the next 5 seasons. Payroll is $120 million, which means we have nothing. Top prospects. Zarate's 5th. Elijah Green is 8th. What's his name? Gar. He's 19th. Okay. All right. Well, let's get to this, shall we? So we have to make some decisions here. Corinczak is a free agent. He doesn't want a lot of money, but we can't re-sign him right now. Luzardo, I think we offer the qualifying offer to him. My guess is he doesn't take it. We are able to pick up a first-round pick. Manning only wants 1.7. He only wants 1.7. I'm not comfortable giving him that kind of money. We'll give him 1.625. Casey Mize wants 4.8. Can we sign him long-term? He wants 4.8. So let's do 4.5000065, 8.5, and 10.5. Will he take that? What? 4.500. 10.50000. There we go. Nope, he doesn't want that. Okay. So he wants 4.8, so let's offer him 4.6. Scaball wants $10.8 million. We'll give him 1 year at $10,350. This, I think, is our last year with Scuball, so we're going to have a decision to make come the trade deadline of next season. Hamilton wants 1.6. Yeah, I mean, we have literally zero money, so, I mean, we're going to need to nickel and dime here. But Little wants 1.68, so we'll give him 1.6. Hess wants $1 million, so we'll give him $965. Colonel Perez wants 3-4. Fernandez wants 5. Sanchez wants 6.5. I think this is the one we move on from, especially if we're bringing back Giles. So let's see what we can get for Junior Fernandez. Not much. We may non-tender Junior Fernandez in a bit of a surprise. Yeah, I think we're going to non-tender him. Ali Sanchez wants a lot of money. 6'5". Will he take 6'2"? He will. Okay. So we'll get him back at 6'2". Perez, I got to bring Perez back. He's just been so solid for us every single year as a bullpen arm. Brigman wants $1 million. Yeah, I'll bring you back at 965. Parker Meadows wants 7. Can we bring him back in an extension? Seven, 9, 11, 13, 15. What is going 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's just do it this way so that I stop making mistakes. He doesn't want that. Okay. So 7-2. A 1-year deal at 7-2. So 6-8. 6-9. Oops. All right. And then Torkelson at 8-2. 7, 8, 5, 0, 0, 0, 0. Yep. Okay. I would love to bring Corinczak back, but we don't have any money right now. Arihara, DeJong, and Yastrzemski are all gone. And are there any minor leaguers we want to bring back? Oh, these guys are all garbage. Yeah, they're all garbage. All right, so those are the moves those are our arbitration deals. We're going to move on from Will Vest and Will Crow. That's fine. Non-tender Fernandez, which is kind of scary, but I think we need to. We're going to need that money. So let's go ahead and sim ahead. And I'll sim ahead to the free agency. I'll be right back. All right, we are at free agency. We'll just go back and take a look at everything. We signed everybody that we anticipated. We got fan interest bumps for Mize, Meadows, Torkelson, and Little. So so we are up to a 65 now. We still have no money, which is a bit of a problem. If he can come back healthy, he's our ace. I don't know that he can come back healthy though. It may be time to move on from Scubal. What is this? Is not good. What is this? Steven Wilson's got to go away. Why is he showing up here? How is he making $8 million? What did I not see? I can't pay him $8 million. I got to get rid of him. How is he making $8 million? All right, well, I'll cross that bridge in a couple minutes. There's just nothing I can do about it right this second. Okay, so we signed all of our players. He's pretty interesting. He's only 24. But I have a good third baseman. AL Gold Gloves, Parker Meadows, Antrique Scubal, AL top reliever, Tony Stewart. Oh, yeah, Tony Stewart. 1.12 ERA. Wow. He is something. NL Reliever of the Year, Edwin Diaz. Platinum Stick. We didn't get anybody. It's a bit of a surprise. AL Rookie of the Year, Omar Gonzalez. NL Rookie of the Year, Seiya Suzuki. Kevin Cash wins the Manager of the Year. Kenny Holmberg in the National League for St. Louis. Jordan Vera wins the AL Cy Young. Ken Giles finishes 4th in the Cy Young Award winner. Mitch Keller wins the NL Cy Young. As expected, Kyle Tucker wins the MVP. And in the National League, Cody Bellinger. Jimmy Nelson retires due to injury. Jesus Luzardo filed for a free agency. Let's see if there are any young players that would accept a minor league deal. No, doesn't look like it. Any interesting free agents? Well, there's Luzardo. Griffin Canning is out there, but he wants $21 million. Cal Quantrill wants 16. Those are all compensatory guys, so we're going to avoid those. All right, so what do we need? Our pitching staff is a mess. Assuming Flaherty and Mize are healthy, our rotation is fairly set. Flaherty, Skubal, Mize, Manning, Sanders. I got to figure out a way to get Wilson off this team. I don't know how he's making $8 million. I'm sure I missed something, but I got to get him off the team somehow. We get Flaherty back in 4 months. Quintana can be up. Shriver can be up. Braylon, these guys, none of these guys are ready yet. So from a pitching perspective, we have 13 pitchers. I mean, we could use another bullpen arm. Yeah, because we are going to suffer injuries. We only have 13 pitchers that are above 2 stars. Lineups, I think we're pretty well set because we got Jung-Hoo Lee back. So our lineup is pretty much as it is going to be. It might be time to move on from Welker to free up a little bit of money. In fact, let's see what that can bring. Oh, come on. You guys are killing me. You guys are killing me. Really. Nobody wants Colton Walker. Okay. So we have no money. We have no money to do anything with anything. And I don't want to make trades for the sake of making trades, but I mean, this is our last year with a Royal. This is our last year with Mice. Things could get really, really bad moving forward here, guys. I'm just now realizing this. We lose Skubal after this year, Casey Mize after this year. Leonel Perez, Christian Arroyo. This could get bad. This could get really bad. So I think we need to cut payroll. We need to cut some payroll this year because I have to, at a bare minimum, I have to bring Casey Mize back. I can't let Mize walk. Even though he is fragile. He's fragile. Flaherty's normal, but he suffered 2 season-ending injuries. Skubal is normal, but all right, I'm going to sim ahead up to the Rule 5, and hopefully I will have been able to make a deal or two by then. And, yeah, so I'll be right back. All right, guys, we are back. It is not quite the Rule 5 yet, but we made a deal, and it was a substantial one. I am not crazy about it. I had to give up quite a bit, but in the long term, you can see what it did. It freed up about $30 million. So without any further ado, let's just take a look at it. We have sent Jack Flaherty, Colton Welker, Steven Wilson, Ian Hamilton, and Brendan Little to the Philadelphia Phillies, getting Jake Eder and 24-year-old Mick Abel. Yeah, I don't really know what to say about this other than I had to make some moves. I had to free up some salary. I had to clear some space so that we can try to bring our own talent back. Some of it I don't think I'm going to be able to afford. We'll take a look at what players like Arroyo and Scubal are looking for, but I know I can bring back Mize at a bare minimum. Flaherty, I think, is still going to be a good pitcher. He pitched basically one full season for us and went 11-8. Was good in his 6 starts last season. His ratings are still fantastic. He's signed for 2 more years or 1 more year after this one, and then the following year's a player option. Philadelphia gets him. We get Colton Walker off the books as well. Not that his contract was huge, but he had played pretty well. But it just we needed to move on. I can't afford to pay a backup first baseman / third baseman $4 million a year. This also allowed us to get Steven Wilson's contract off the books. This one was crippling. Hamilton, they really wanted him, and Hamilton was really good for us, but we picked him up in a trade last season. He was making about $1.5 million, and then they wanted Brendan Little to make it work as well. I didn't want to not make this trade happen because of 2 late 20, early 30 relief pitchers. So again, Flaherty, Welker, Wilson, Hamilton, and Little to the Phillies. We get Jake Eder, who is a 4-star bullpen arm who is still making the league minimum. Great stuff. Good fastball, good curveball. He's going to be a solid bullpen addition. And Mick Abel, who will actually be a starter for us. And as a starter, his ratings are still pretty good. Potential 70 stuff, 47 movement, 53 control, 4 really good pitches. Is normal injury proneness. Has pitched as kind of a swingman each of the last 2 seasons. So he will be a starter for us. So that is the deal we made. Not crazy about it, to be completely honest, but it was a trade that needed to happen. So now we have $26 million, $29 million for extensions. So the first thing I think I want to do with that money is come in and talk to Casey Mize. He wants 6 years. I don't want to give him 6 years. We'll give him 4. Will he take 4 at 10? He won't. Okay. What about 4 at 11? Okay, so he wants 6 years. What if we do 5? What if we do it like what if we do something like this? Because I'm hoping maybe that these last 2 years we'll be able to generate additional stands in the seats and we'll be able to afford that. What about that? Okay, so 9, 11, 13, 15, 17. So 5 years, $65 million for Casey Mize. I am happy with that. So we still have $26 million this year and about 20 going forward. Who else is up this year? So we have Arroyo and Scubal up. And what does Arroyo want? It's a lot of money. I can't pay a 30-year-old second baseman that much money. And Scubal, he wants even more. All right, so both of these guys may be trade bait. They may be gone this offseason. I don't know who would replace Arroyo at second. Maybe we give Bregman a shot at second base. I mean, defensively, he's pretty good. What can we get for Christian Arroyo, who's just been absolutely lights out for us? Can we get either a young pitcher or a second baseman who's under team control? We can get Eloy Jimenez. We want another bat in our lineup. Cameron Cannon with the Red Sox, a good second baseman. And we may need to step down, right? I mean, ultimately, we may need to step down in terms of what it is we are getting in return, just because we need to save money. Jazz Chisholm, he's making $6 million. No. Forrest Whitley. mean, that may not be a bad. He's 28. Quality pitcher, should provide some quality innings, hold down a rotation spot. He's out for 7 more weeks. He'll be back next year. He's got 4 great pitches, good stuff, good movement. His control's a little meh. But in 2024, he pitched a full season and put up almost 4 wins. Okay, well, that's an option. Emerson Hancock. Ooh, I think this might be the deal. Emerson Hancock, he's ARB eligible. For how long? Let's do this. Because I think that's the deal if... Yeah, he's ARB eligible for another 2 years. I think we make the move for Emerson Hancock, guys. Was 18-8 last year, 207 innings, put up 3 WAR. He's put up 3 straight years of at least 2.5 WAR. He still has room to grow. He's only 26. Let's see if there's anything else available. Yeah, Emerson Hancock. We can do better. Can we really? Do you really think we can? Can we get Miller Green as well? It's an insulting proposal. You want Zarate. What about Nugent? You want to give me any of these young bullpen arms? He was drafted this year. What about Brandon Sproat? Okay. So we can pick up Brandon Sproat as another bullpen piece. And we are just going to need to add... You want Logan Clayton? You can have Logan Clayton. All right. Now, do you have a second baseman for me? Want to give me Noel V. Marte? I mean, I know the answer to that, but Shed Long, no. Austin Shenton, can he play second? No. I like Austin Shenton. I tend to go after him in a lot of my game plays. So Christian Arroyo. Okay, so they can't eat the contract, or they can't eat the entirety of the contract. All right, they can give us $990,000. They can eat $990,000 of that. So we're going to give up Christian Arroyo, who is 30 years old, and I mean, he's just been fantastic. He's extremely popular, which is going to hurt. Emerson Hancock is well known. He's popular as well. He's fairly well known. So this addresses our pitching situation in case we're not able to pick up, if we're not able to re-sign Skubal. And frankly, that may be something we look to move on from here this offseason if we can move Skubal for a second baseman. So I'm going to pull the trigger. Fan interest almost crashed. Increased slightly. So what did that do for us? Ooh, we dropped down to a 59. Okay. But I think we have just adjusted our bullpen. So now we're going to be looking at Hancock, Mize, Abel, Manning, and as well as Skubal. Right now, this is our rotation. Emerson Hancock, Casey Mize, Mick Abel, Matt Manning, Tariq Skubal. Our bullpen is in a bit better shape. We still are going to need a bullpen arm, but at least now we have some money to do that with. So let's get up to the winter meetings. Let me know what you think of those deals, guys. Knowing what you know about our potential financial situation, I feel like we had to do that. So let's look at the offseason center. Offensively, we're fine. I don't think we need a single offensive player. Again, not for, I mean, Arenado's available, but we don't need a third baseman. Yeah, we don't need a single offensive player. Let's look at pitchers. There's Junior at $3 million. Jesus Luzardo at 21. Alex Mejia. He was one of the international guys. He's only 25. He wants $4 million, though. Really, I just need a back of the bullpen guy is what I'm looking for. Taylor Rogers might be that guy. Yeah, he's well known. He only wants 3.3. So let's offer him $3 million and see if he'll take that second year as a team option. He will. Okay. So we can bring him in to help booster the bullpen. That's fine. And then from there, we may sort of bargain basement shop. We'll get up to the Rule 5 and see what's available there. So let's sim ahead. See if we can pick up. See if we can extend Mize and also pick up Rogers. Casey Mize signed his contract extension. We get a small bump there, so we're back up to 60. We can't seem to get away from that number. So let's see if Rogers signs. Does he favor our contract or favor our deal? He does. Winter meetings come to an end. Arihara signed with Chicago. Wow, that's a lot of money. Cal Quantrill also signed with Chicago. Philadelphia signed Arenado, so they're all in. All right, now I want to see. I don't want to move him, but let's see what we can get for Skubal. Would like a second baseman if we're going to get anything, and a good second baseman at that. We could bring in Adalberto Mondesi. He's making $22 million. Jonathan India, no. Brendan Rodgers is signed long-term to a contract I don't want to pay. Forrest Whitley keeps showing up on here. Can I get him for something else? I bet I could bring in Forrest Whitley for not much. Let's just screw around with this for a second. Nick McLean, we'll start there. Okay, Willie Moreno. How about Xavier Buss? He's a 2-star player. Do we move on from Perez? Christian Little. None of that moves the needle. Okay. Ball Eater, Hancock. Yeah, it's all players I don't want to trade. I would really like to keep Perez around. He's just been so good. Yeah. Okay, we're not going to do that. Let's look at who else is available. Joe Adele. Josiah Gray. Wow, but he's making $20 million in arbitration. That's crazy money. Freddie Peralta. No second baseman. What if I do it like this? What if I do it like that? Yeah, it doesn't get much better. All right, so we may just hold on to Tariq and see how that plays out as the season moves on. But for now, let's get up to the Rule 5. I guess maybe we could take a look at free agency to see if there are any relative. Let's get to the Rule 5 first. There might be somebody in the Rule 5 that we can pick up and put at second base. I'm not crazy about any of the deals we've made, although that picking up Emerson Hancock I'm pretty happy with. Finished second in ERA, first in wins. I mean, I'm okay with that. Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with that, frankly, but I'm not crazy about the other deal where we gave up Flaherty, but we had to do what we had to do. It's not something I'm all that crazy about, but it is what it is. So, all right, let's get to the Rule 5. We're picking 29th. All right, so we got three 3.5-star pitchers. So let's look at those first. Patrick Murphy, he's making $1.4 million. Peter Vojta, or Vota, it's probably Vota. And Niall Windler, an extreme fly ball pitcher with 17 movement. Oof. Oof, oof, oof. Raymels Rosa, he's not bad. Fastball slider pitcher. Lissandro Almonte, he doesn't look bad. Let's look at the batters, see if we got a second baseman there. Ariel Amador, he's in the Rockies organization. He's not terrible. Wouldn't say he's good enough to start, but he's not terrible. Alex DeJesus. It doesn't look like we're going to Trevor Hauver out of the Yankees organization. He's terrible defensively. Brady House could bring some power. He's the 5th overall pick in 2021 of Arizona. Can't really do much else other than he's got some decent home run power, but that's about it. Blaze Jordan of the Red Sox. Don't need a first baseman. Victor Mesa would be an option, except he's not very good defensively. Yohendrick Pinango shows up in here all the time, and I love his bat, but I don't really have a home for him. Jordan Walker of the Cardinals. He's only 23. Good instincts. And we don't need a third baseman, right? I mean, we have, what do his ratings look like? Can hit lefties. Sort of. All right, well, the first thing I'm going to do is work on the pitching staff, and we're going to take Raymels Rosa, 27-year-old. Go to our next pick and see if there are, I mean, there should be plenty of players available to us. That's just the way the Rule 5 works. Some older players that I'm not interested in. You got Yerry De Los Santos. We could, yeah, I like the idea of Luis De Los Santos. No, Yerry De Los Santos. Good stuff, good movement, good control. 2 pitchers, a ground ball pitcher. We'll bring him in as well. Let's go to the next pick. And this could allow us to move on from Cleonel Perez if some of these guys pitch up to their ratings. You know, the question is, will they pitch up to their ratings? There's Brady House again, this time as a pitcher. Ryan Jensen with the Cubs, right? Yeah, Costy Shock. No, it's a fly ball pitcher. I don't want that. Brett Lockwood isn't developed enough. So I think we're good in terms of pitcher. We picked up 2 pitchers off the Rule 5. So let's go back to batters. And I just want to take my time doing this because we are in because right now our second baseman is Bryson Brigman, and I would be okay with that. We need an outfielder too. We've got Siani, Cameron, Meadows, and Lee as our outfield. That's not going to get it done. Although we've got Green, who's getting there. I mean, he'll be in AAA this year. Bishop will be in AAA this year. Foster will likely be in AAA this year. But we're not ready this year, so maybe we find an outfielder. Let's go back to the Rule 5 and find an outfielder. There's always outfielders in here. I like Kevin Alcantara. He's got a good bat, but he's terrible defensively. And if I'm going to pick up an outfielder, I want someone who can play solid defense. Camden Hayslip, 31 home runs in A-ball last year. Luis Matos can only play left. Whit Merrifield, really. Victor Mesa, 308 in Double A year ago with no power. Montesino can only play right. Penango can only play right. But he's going to get on base a bunch. Hit 300, 383, 424 with 44 steals. Yeah, I think we take Penango and try to stretch him out in some of those other offensive positions in the outfield and see how he does. Just make sure I'm not missing anything. What I would really like is one of those backup outfielders who could play all three positions at a... And I think I'm just going to go nuts here. Let's just go to our next pick. I want to take Jordan Walker. 23-year-old with power. So we're going to take 4 players in the Rule 5. That's going to be one way for us to try to create some depth that we had previously lost. So we now have 15 pitchers on our roster, 16 if we sign Rogers. Let's see. I'd rather not spend any more money in free agency if I can help it. Yeah, I'd rather not spend any more money in free agency. Just take a look at batters real quick. Let's look at the outfielders. Kyle Lewis, Marcelo Zuna Locane, TJ Friedel, Aaron Hicks. Oof, good defensively. Terrible with the bat. Eddie Rosario, Tim LaCastro, Yastrzemski's out there again. All right, so I think this is where we're going to leave it in terms of free agents. We've only got the one coming in. It looks like our second baseman is going to be Bryson Brigman. I don't know how that's going to work out, but we got Nick Quintana who can back up at second and short. Penango will likely start with those ratings, start and bat at the bottom of the order with Ciani being that backup at all 3 outfield positions. I think I like that. And then Jordan Walker can back up at third and first. Quintana can back up at short and second. And then Ciani can be our backup outfielder. Pitching-wise, I don't know, man. It's going to be a crapshoot. We're just going to have to see. I think we're young. I think we are still cost-controlled here for a bit. And we still have Tariq Skubal that we can potentially move on from if we need to. So, actually, let's do the Hall of Fame voting, and then I will sim ahead until the beginning of spring training, and we'll go over any deals that were made. So, Beltran, Beltre, definitely. Bartolo Colon, sure. Todd Helton, yes. Tim Hudson, yes. Torrey Hunter, Andrew Jones. Joe Mauer. Dustin Pedroia. And Scott Rowland. And CC Sabathia. Ichiro. I got to get Ichiro on there somehow. We'll take Mauer off and put Ichiro on there. Cool. All right. So now I'm going to sim ahead to the beginning of spring training. If there are any deals, we'll go over them at that point. So I'll be back in a minute. All right, guys. We are back. It is the start of preseason. And we've done a couple of additional things. We continue to look for ways to reduce payroll and kind of try to think long-term. So in terms of thinking long-term, we locked up both Emerson Hancock and Casey Mize. can see Casey Mize, we signed to a 5-year, $65 million extension. He's going to make $9 million next year, 11, 13, 15, and then the 2031 season when he is 33. This will be a player option for $17 million. So 5 years, $65 million for Casey Mize. If he stays healthy, I think that's going to be a good value deal, as he's been putting up anywhere between 2 and 3.5 WAR every season. Emerson Hancock, contract was a little bit bigger. We signed him to a 5-year, $74 million contract, so an additional $9 million, except that last season is a team option. So he's going to make $9.5 next year, $12.5 the year after that, then $15.5, $18.5, and then when he is 31, that'll be a team option for $18.5. So these are either going to be great deals and we're going to look like geniuses, or they're going to get hurt and we're going to look like idiots. So those are the two re-signings we made. We did sign a second baseman to play second for us, so Bryson Brigman doesn't have to do it. That is Tommy Edman, who played last year with the Dodgers, put up a 277, 358, 408 line for the Dodgers. 2 years ago, though, 2024, you can see he put up 2.2 WAR, hit 381 for Atlanta in 30 games. He's got decent enough defensive ratings at second. I think he'll be okay. He's quick, and he's got a good bat. I mean, that contact at 81, against righties, it goes up to an 84, so he could be a good number 2 hitter for us. And we signed him to a 3-year deal worth $18 million, but the last 2 years are team options. So if he's bad this year, we can move on from him, and we can potentially trade him if we need to. And then the last thing we did is we made another deal. This one was with the San Francisco Giants. You may have seen it there, but I was starting to get a little concerned about what we were paying Ali Sanchez. He was due $6.5. He was going to make $6.5 million this year, $8.5 million next year, and then he was going to be a free agent. And as good as he was defensively, I didn't think I could justify that. So what we did is we made a deal with the San Francisco Giants, where we sent Ali Sanchez, Willie Moreno, who we talked about. He's the number 18 prospect in baseball, but I don't think he's going to be that good. I think that contact is going to hold him back. Defensively, he's pretty good. He's not a great not a great runner. He's gonna hit for a lot of power, assuming that home run power develops. But right now, he's really, really raw. So those are the two main pieces: Ali Sanchez and Willie Moreno, along with Dylan Carter, who's a 1.5-star, 2-star outfielder who was in A-ball, and Adrian Colon Rosado, who is a fully developed 24-year-old in high A-ball. And in exchange, we pick up Nate Clow, who is he's going to start probably in Double-A, but he could be a backup middle infielder if and when we decide to move on from Brigman. But the big piece was Corey Collins, a 24-year-old catcher who is very, very good defensively and has some pop in his bat. Isn't going to hit for a high average, but you can see 10 home runs, 19 doubles, 4 triples in just 86 games last year. Put up a 730 OPS, 2 WAR in part-time play for the Giants. He's a lefty, but can hit both lefties and righties equally. So we now have Corey Collins and Diego Cartaya as our two catchers. Both good defensively. Both can hit enough to carry their gloves. And we save another about $7 million. So we currently have $18 million this year, nothing for next year. Hopefully we start to win, so this this number increases here. You can see salary-wise, we jump up from 97 to 115, and that doesn't take into account Tariq Skubal. So we are going to have to figure out what to do with Tariq. For now, I'm going to hold on to him, and we'll see how things go throughout the season. If he pitches poorly or we play badly, at that point, we can look to move him. But you can see he's been up and down, anywhere from, we started here, and he put up 1.3 WAR, then 1.9, 1.6, and then 2 years ago, he was really good at 4.6 WAR, and then 2.2 last year. So I don't know that he's worth... Oh, he's angry at us because we had him on the... We offered him up in deals, but he was asking for like $20 million, and I don't know that this is worth it. We'll see how things go. If he pitches well, maybe we'll readdress it. If he doesn't pitch well, then we will potentially look to move on from him. I mean, we have right now on our big league roster, we have 7 big league starters: Hancock, Mize, Abel, Skubal, Sanders, Manning, and Hill, along with a couple of young players, Jeff Foster, and I think someone hurt. I thought we had another pitcher. Oh, Samuel Dutton. Right, he's listed as a closer now. Other pitchers in the system who can come up if we need them to. So, so I think we're done making moves. So, I'm going to go ahead and actually, I think what I'm going to do is we've got $18 million. I'm not going to spend any more this year. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to dump some money into scouting and development and up those numbers some. I don't think we need $12 million. We can probably drop this down to 8, and we can bump this up to 20. So we still have $15 million. So let's do this. I want to keep going. Bump that to 22. Bump this to 18. If we have to drop it down next year, we can, but that still gives us some money to play with this year. Obviously, next year is going to be a problem, but we'll deal with next year. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sim ahead to opening day. We will set the lineups and the pitching staffs, and we'll call it an episode. So I'll be right back. All right, we are back. It is March 30th. We almost made it out of spring training unscathed. We suffered a couple of injuries. Matt Manning's out with back spasms. Injury time unknown. Because he's fragile, I didn't want to deal with it. I didn't want to run the risk of it getting any worse, so I put him on the IL. Tommy Edman has a herniated disc. He's going to be out for the first month of the season. Otherwise, we are healthy. Jesus Luzardo signed with the Chicago Cubs, so we get a compensatory first-round pick. Not a bad deal. 5 years, $84 million. Pretty good deal for the 28-year-old Luzardo. We pick up a first-round pick for him. And now we have to cut our roster. We're at 32. We got to send down 4 pitchers. So Garcia, Shriver, Dutton, those are going to be the first 3. Okay, so we can't send down Shriver without cutting him. So we got to send down 2 pitchers from this list, huh? So I think maybe Sproat goes down, send him down to AAA. He still has some room to work. And Rosa is a Rule 5 guy, so we need to hang on to him. De Los Santos is a Rule 5 guy, so we need to hold on to him. I think we have to non-tender Shriver, which I'm not crazy about, but let's see if anybody's interested in him. See if we can pick up a bullpen arm that I have it set on all batters because that's what I was looking for. Let's see if there are any pitchers that are so we need to pick up a pitcher who has some, I guess it's not that big a deal. If I have to non-tender him, I'll non-tender him, but I'd prefer to get a pitcher who still has options, just to give us that additional flexibility if we need a body, if someone's hurt or something like that. Looks like there are a couple of options. I can't be picky here, right? Because I suppose I can. All right, we're just going to waive and designate and hope that nobody picks him up. He's a 30-year-old left-handed reliever, so we'll see. All right, so we are at 13 pitchers now. We need to send down 2 hitters from a lineup that has a lot of players. So we're going to send down Daz Cameron. We're going to designate him because we won't be able to send him down. And Nick Quintana. All right, so that gives us our 26-man roster. We'll start with pitching. So we're going to go Mize, Hancock, Skubal, Abel, Sanders. It's going to be our starting rotation. He was really good in the stopper role, so we'll make him a stopper again. Who do we want to be our closer? I think Zach Hess will be our closer. Setup men will be Eater and De Los Santos. Or I'm going to try De Los Santos just because he's a ground ball pitcher. His ratings are pretty good, so we'll stick with that. Middle relief will be Hill and... Oh, wait, no. I forgot about Cleonel Perez. Cleonel Perez is our setup guy along with Eater. De Los Santos will be middle relief alongside Adam Hill. Taylor Rogers, that's fine as a specialist. We'll make him a specialist and a middle reliever. So let's see how that shapes up. So Hess is the closer. Giles is the stopper. Eater and Perez as... set up, De Los Santos and Hill as bullpen as middle relievers, Rosa as the long reliever, and Rogers as a specialist. Cool. And now the lineups. Clear all lineups. All right. So we're gonna look a little different this year. Torkelson is gonna be our number 4 hitter. Jung-Hoo Lee will be our number 3. Lou will be our number 5. Leadoff hitter Parker Meadows. Marcelo Meyer, I think, is going to move up. I don't want to go lefty, lefty, lefty. So I think we're going to do this. Yeah, and then once we get Edman back, we'll put Edman in that number 2 hole. So who's going to play left field? I think Penango is going to play left field against lefties because he's got, good eye, good discipline, playing good contact, good gap power. He's just not very good defensively, but it's left field. He'll pick up left field. Bryce Ball is going to play first. Torkelson. Actually, do we want to do Torkelson at first or Ball? Actually, we're going to do Ball as the DH, Torkelson as our first baseman. So we need a catcher and our second baseman. So our catcher against lefties, or against righties, is going to be Corey Collins. And for the time being, Bryson Brigman will start at second. So we'll do this like that. And then once we get Edman back, we're going to have to send somebody down. I'm glad we didn't have to send any of our Rule 5 guys down. I think Braylon Bishop will be that guy to go down once Edman is back. In fact, I know Bishop will be that guy to go down. He's not a good enough hitter at this point. So we will copy the lineup and we will paste it here. And against lefties, things need to change a bit. So actually, I think Ball was actually decent against lefties too. Right, he was. Current third baseman is Lou. I want to do this. I want to get Jordan Walker some playing time against lefties. So he's going to play left field against lefties. I think that's the plan. And then Ball can stay in as the designated hitter. Diego Cartillo will start against lefties. And I think we will run with a lineup that looks like that. We don't have a backup shortstop right now. That's fine. It'll be a couple of weeks, and then we got a lot of outfielders. But once Edman is back, then Brigman can slide into that backup shortstop and second base position. So let's paste here. Switch some things up. Get Walker in there at left field. Get our National League lineup set. Paste. Take Ball out. Collins, Brigman, Penango. All right, so there is our lineup. I'm content with it. I think we're going to be, I think we have one of the best 2-3-4s in baseball with Lou, Lee, and Torkelson, and it's only going to get better once we get Edman out there. I'm really excited about Marcelo Meyer. He's gotten a whole lot better. He could be electric this year with the bat. Bryce Ball, I'm assuming, is going to have a better season this year. We're going to get Corey Collins, going to hit for more power. Contact won't be there. He's not going to hit 300 like Ali Sanchez did, but he's going to hit for more home runs, still provide really good defense. I think Pinango is a really solid Rule 5 guy as an outfielder. Can get on base. Not going to hit for a ton of power, but he's going to get on base. I'm excited about Jordan Walker. I've always liked Jordan Walker in these games. He's hit almost 30 home runs each of the last 2 years in the minor leagues. He's only 23, so adding another power bat to the lineup's never a bad thing. Our pitching staff looks pretty good. I'm obviously concerned about injuries and whatnot, but our lineup looks really good. We still have some money available if we need to make a move during the season to shore up the bullpen, to shore up the rotation. But I think our lineup is in pretty good shape. Our pitching staff, or our minor league system, let's go up to opening day so that we can take a look at updated minor league systems. All right, so player development, Scabal got a little better, a little worse. Rosa got a little worse. Rogers got a little worse. Mize got a little worse. I mean, this is the spring training fluctuation, so I don't read a whole lot into these, but looks like De Los Santos got better, which is nice. Collins and Cartaya both got better. Jordan Walker got better. It's up to 2.5 stars. Lou got a little worse, but that's fine. Meyer, like I said, 3.5 stars. Pinango got better. I'm more concerned about the young player. Samuel Dutton is 2.5 star. It looks like he's going to be starting depth, which is fine. You can never have too much starting pitching depth. Cool. All right, so let's look at the waiver wire real quick. See if there's anybody there we want to grab onto. I don't believe so. Ryan Rollison, we traded last season. Batters, nope, just the players we put there. Oh, we haven't gone far enough ahead. We're not at opening day yet. Calculating. Hopefully Cameron and Schreier both make it through. Daz has been a solid, he's not happy because we're, sending him up or calling him up, sending him back, but he's playing well for us. They only think we're going to go play 500. I don't think that's realistic, but so Elijah Green is up to 6th. Zarate is 9th. So we have 2 of the top 10 prospects in baseball. Still have the top minor league system in the game. Collier's 24th. Castro's 28th, and Gare Sanders is down to 42, but the ratings are still there. Let's look. Do we want to send anybody up or down? Beal was one of our picks last year. We're going to start him in Double-A. Collier, we're going to start him in Double-A. Hopefully that contact can continue to improve. Kai Caranto is going to start in high A-ball. Mako is going to start in A-ball. Let's look at the rookie league. Zarate and Balog are going to stay where they are. Clow was the player we picked up in the offseason. We'll put him in Double-A. Rest of these guys look fine there. Jamie Patterson, okay. His first base ratings are starting to come along. Just need that bat to come along a bit. And Elijah Green's up to 2.5 star, 4 stars, so he will likely be up next season. Just need to see that development this year, and he'll be in our starting lineup next season. Foster and Dutton will continue to develop as well. Preseason predictions have us going 96 and 66. Offensively, Lou 39 and 113. Pitching wise, Skubal 16 and 8. Cool. So they have us with the second best record in the American League. Prospect pipeline. Is there anything else we want to do here? I don't believe so. I think everybody is where we want them. Castro's not ready yet. Sanders isn't ready yet. Armelini isn't ready yet. Balog is up to number 71. His development is slow, and this is what I was afraid of picking him last year. Ultimately, his ratings look really, really good, but if that control doesn't develop, he's already 21, and his control's only an 18. So that's a bit of a concern, but, you know, it is what it is, I guess. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in the top 100, and then Desmond is 103. And then Jordan Walker, who we got off the Rule 5, is number 142. So good stuff there. So, yeah, that's going to do it for this episode, guys. When we come back, it'll be May 1st. I will have played the first month of the season. Let me know what you think. We made a lot of moves. Our pitching staff is very, very different this year, but I think it's set up now long-term with Mize and Hancock signed to, 5 or 6 year contract extensions. We have Mick Abel, who's still under control for a while. Will Sanders still under control for a while. Matt Manning, who is still arbitration eligible. The only thing we'll have to figure out is what to do with Skubal. So that'll be something that we deal with throughout the course of the season. So let me know what you think of my moves. And guys, we will talk soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.